Kahalal Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Ruach. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. My name's Connor Walk from GMS Toronto. Today is January the 23rd, 2019. This year has begun, very perilous, you know, and it's only gonna get worse, man. This society that we're living in is changing drastically, man. And especially if you live in America, man. You know, America is changing, and the heathen, mainly Esau, is feeling the effects as well as our people, but Esau is feeling the great effects because, you know, um, the people who were once the middle class, they're being getting rid of. They're being taken out of that middle class and being placed in the poor. You know, not willingly but forcefully, man. Because Trump, he shut down the government, and many people is not receiving their pay. They're not able to pay their bills, make ends meet. A lot of these Edomites are going to food banks. A lot of them are going homeless. And catching all kinds of hell. Having to budget, not know where your next meal is coming from. Pretty much what we've been going through ever since we came over here, man, into the Americas, or ever since we've been conquered here in the Americas. What the Israelites are experiencing. Pretty much, Esau's now is the new face of oppression, so to speak, man. And he's being oppressed by his own people, and even the FBI, man. The FBI, and it's a funny thing because the FBI is supposed to be a bureau. It's supposed to be a bureau, which investigates criminals and so-called terrorists and so on, and even investigating the Israelites and Christians or anyone that believes in the second coming of Christ or Yahushai. According to Project Megiddo, that's being headed by the FBI. And the funny thing is that many of them aren't getting paid, and that many of them are catching hell, man, which is beautiful. This is off the Market Watch. This is a good site to be updated what's going on in the economy in America as well as in the world. It says this is from the Wall Street Journal. FBI agents say government shutdown is hindering investigations. This was published January 22nd, 2019, written by Brian Tao. Agents aren't getting paid, and neither are support staff or informants. The partial government shutdown is hindering federal law enforcement. Man. Trump is doing an amazing job, man. So, basically what this is going to lead to, even if the economy, even if the government does reopen, a next government shutdown is you can't avoid that. Even if they reopen the government, it's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen even worse. But the way how it's looking is like maybe this whole government maybe this whole government shutdown, is gonna last for a while. Because the Democrats, they're moving like they don't want to give Trump that money to build the wall. Trump wants 5 point something billion dollars to build that wall. And the way I was looking is like that the Democrats, they're not gonna give him what he wants, and this is all systematic because end of the day, they all have the same agenda and goals. So this is all just this is just a Hegelian dialect, where they're seeming like they're opposed to the fucking wall, but end of the day, they're all Illuminati and Masons. And They have the same agenda, the same goal, the one world government, where they reduce the Earth population down to 500 million, and where there's gonna be chaos. Where there's gonna be order out of chaos. So, in order for them to establish this whole new world order, there has to be chaos first in all levels of society. You know, starting in America and all over the world, because this is gonna spread all over the world. It says, this is second Esdras 15:12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. And we've been getting terrible weather. Right now it's winter time. We're getting very close to the spring. We're about 2 months away from spring, or so. And who knows what this spring is gonna bring. You know, who knows how this weather is gonna be, you know, America could experience great famine. Because look at California, all the wildfires and the droughts and stuff. So imagine in places like Florida, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, and all these different agricultural states, where a lot of produce and cattle come from. Imagine if there's bad weather for the spring, man. What's that's gonna be another plague, that's gonna come upon this place, man. It is famine in a major way. It says, woe to the world, and it says, and with a fearful consolation, because it's not gonna be, things aren't gonna be better. It's only gonna get worse. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means destruction. So that's what's coming onto this world that we live in. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And that's exactly what this leading to, man. Because right now you're having a class war, you're having a government war, where they're going, with the Democrats and Republicans. Then you have the rich and poor. There's no more middle class, pretty much, just rich and poor. And then you're gonna have a race war, man. You're gonna have You're gonna have other nations that's gonna come against the Israelites. Mainly you damn crackers. You guys are gonna rise up against us, man. Especially you Trump supporters, because like, for all the people that still have their jobs, you know, people who work in certain fields. I was watching a documentary. A lot of people that work in the aluminum industry, they're heavy Trump supporters, uh, because uh, because before, when Trump just imposed tariffs on China, they lost their jobs, or they weren't able to work. But he lifted us a tariff. I believe he lifted some tariffs or something, and now the aluminum industry is booming, and they're praising Trump. And I looked at the documentary, and many of these supporters, they look like they're straight up neo Nazis, or clan or Ku Klux Klan members, man. You know what I mean? So Trump, so for all you Trump supporters, you guys are gonna be heavy into this race war, man, because many of Trump's supporters are neo Nazis and Klans members. And they hate you Mexicans, you so-called Mexicans, you so-called Latinos, you so-called natives, and you so-called blacks. And yeah, man. So there's gonna be a race war, man. So for the sword and the destruction it draweth nigh, because right now a lot of Jake is doing better than you damn nations, man. Than many of you damn Edomites and so on. You know. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand their power. Yeah, look, you see what's going on right now. So even law enforcement and stuff is out of pay right now. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's one of the top law enforcement agencies in America, and many of these fuckers are out of their job, which is good for them. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So even you damn people who work in these government jobs and government law enforcement, like you guys are gonna be caught up in this chaos too, man. So you guys might be investigating us, investigating other people, and all these stuff, because you can investigate us because we don't have nothing to hide, man. You know, we're just everyday working people who just preach the Bible. You know, we're not people that take up arms and go out and seek to harm people, man. So that's good, and this is judgment that's being brought upon you guys, man. That a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Yeah, so if people not getting paid, people are gonna have to start committing crime, because there's only so long where a society could run. Where people aren't able to work, gain income, and and everything's gonna be peaceful. That's impossible, man. People, says a hungry man's an angry man. So when people are hungry, that means that they're liable to do anything, man, because they have to, because they have mouths to feed, man. They have families to feed. So a person that's can't imagine, it's crazy, man. And soon it's not just gonna be government workers out of job. It's gonna be everybody out of a job, because the economy is gonna crash eventually. So soon there won't be any trade. And what government's gonna do? They're gonna implement a new currency, which is known as the RFID technology. So in order for you to be a part of the system again, you're gonna have to accept that microchip. But Revelation 13, for any of our people, of the Israelites, you so-called blacks, you so-called Latinos and Native, any of you guys who accept the microchip, you're gonna be condemned. And you're gonna be destroyed. So, so we're commanded not to take that microchip, man. You know what I mean? You could read this thing for yourself. I'm gonna read some more. But it says, the partial government shutdown is hindering federal law enforcement operations. The organization representing thousands of FBI special agents said limiting investigators' ability to pay confidential informants and witnesses at criminal trials, and curbing the Bureau's ability to hire translators, paralegals, and other support personnel. The partial government shutdown, now in its 32nd day, has caused a lapse in the funding of the Justice Department, which oversees the Federal Bureau of Investigation. What FBI agents and support staff deemed essential to national security and federal law enforcement have been working without pay. Federal rules also prohibit the spending of government funds in many cases, leaving agents unable to tap money used in investigations. The FBI needs to be fully funded so that we can do our job, stop terrorist attacks, prevent criminal activity, arrest bad guys, said FBI Special Agent Thomas O'Connor, president of the FBI Agents Association. So with all this stuff going on, this is going to lead to a serious thing. It's going to lead to many serious factors, because you're going to have all kind of chaos happen, and right now you're going to have FBI agents who's going to be out for Trump. because they're out of a job. So there's gonna be many different scenarios, many false flags, all kinds of shit right now, all kinds of chaos happening. So we have to stay on our toes and be informed with what's going on in the news, in prophecy, and and stay on guard, But with that, I'd like to say, Call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to all the brothers out there doing the works. So with that, Kwame Ashala, we're almost out of here, and things are getting bad, man. So stay woke.